Anyone who says gaming is dead is honestly completely wrong, because I cannot keep up with this year's releases. And yet again, we have another banger. This is Cronos The New Dawn. Don't go away. Man, have I been on a horror game streak. Cronos The New Dawn is a game I had my eye on it for a little bit, and with the recommendation of one of my supporters from my Buy Me a Coffee page to play Cronos The New Dawn, I had no excuse not to. I'm already playing Silent Hill F and Tormented Souls 2 right after this. Let's play another horror game. It is October. Let's do it. This is a survival horror game, and let me tell you, this is a classic survival horror game. Don't let these modern day graphics fool you. Going in, all I knew about Cronos The New Dawn was that it had similarities to modern survival horror games like maybe RE4 Remake and especially to Dead Space Remake. Now that I finished, I honestly believe that other than maybe one enemy type and a punch-kick animation, absolutely this game stands on its own and is not recognizable to any other game. In fact, it's more likely similar to classic survival horror games. Trust me when I say this, but every bullet counts in this game. Everything down to the smallest quality of life detail is as close to perfection and rides such a solid, what I would immediately call a 9 out of 10 for gameplay. I have reasons for it not going any higher than 9, but what it does is incredibly streamlined. It's honestly addictive. Like, I was looking forward to playing this game every day after work. There we go! Steelworks boss in the dust. Fucking almost 3K. Gunplay is fantastic with one small negative. This game does a good job of cloaking itself as a modern survival horror game when it's really a classic. Like, you know, in classic survival horror where you can't move while you aim? Well, you can move while you aim it here, but it's so incredibly slow, you might as well call it stationary shooting. And the one small nitpick I have here is I just don't think there's that much weapon variety. I did find all weapons in the game, and I felt like I honestly was missing a couple until I got the trophy that I collected all of them. So I definitely did collect all of them, but I thought there should have been more. Like, when you find a new weapon in survival horror games, this is not the reaction the devs want to hear. But I don't want full auto. What? I don't want this. I can't believe that's a whole new weapon, honestly. Does it have a different upgrade system? Wow. But what weapons you do get are fantastic to use. I am a huge advocate for the charge shots in this game. Because every bullet counts, charging your weapon ups the firepower. Of course, this takes time, but it's definitely worth it because in this game, every bullet counts. But it's also just satisfying, like charging up a shot and releasing with a pistol or even up close shotgun. Like, yeah, even if it did no bonus damage, I'd still do it just for the satisfaction. And you got up first. Weapon upgrades, again, tagline it with this word, fantastic. A lot of games kind of box themselves into just looking at an upgrade system and thinking, why would I upgrade anything other than damage? But in this game, in Cronos New Dawn, there are things you want to upgrade that aren't damage related. For me personally, the pistol stability upgrade was definitely needed. Because ammo is such a tight resource in this game, your guy's aim is honestly kind of ass in the beginning, so you can't really focus on damage because you need to focus on other things. And more strictness comes in the inventory. Of course, this is another classic callback to survival horror. The inventory here is tight.
Tight?
You do have options to upgrade it, but even when you do upgrade, you just unlock more weapons along the way, more trinkets, more key items to hold, so you're always feeling like you're up against that ceiling. Always feeling the need that you pick up an extra item, you think, it's probably worth it to take the minute back walk to the inventory box to drop this off, so I have an extra slot. Crafting, again, I just keep repeating this. Guys, the gameplay loop for Cronos New Dawn is fantastic. Crafting here is perfect. It's not overdone, it's not overpowered, but it's not underdone. Like, no crafting in this game goes on as wasted. And you can craft almost anything other than the powerful, like, arbalist ammo. Health, ammo for shotgun, carbine, pistol, mines, and it's all done with just 2 resources, meaning those 2 resources cover all of what I just said you could craft. So you have to make your choice on what you want to craft in the moment, because you can't get it all. This one is a positive. I loved how the fire works in this game, but did we really need 2 separate items for this? You have an item that you basically blast the ground with fire and it rings around you, right? Good protective stuff. And then you have a proximity mine you can shoot out that is also just basically blast fire. To me, these 2 items acted the exact same in my scenarios. I know there's different uses, but with having cores as such a finite resource, there was literally no point at all to me upgrading my proximity mines when I already upgraded my basic fire to max. Phylacteries is another item I loved. I understand why there wasn't a ton of them because they kind of loop into the story, but these are essences, people's souls, you could say, that you suck into your suit, and these act as passive upgrades, but you can only have 3. So when you go to get another one, you have to actually discard that one. And the way you discard it is cool because they're souls, you're deleting someone, so you actually hear them getting deleted. But these passive bonuses are awesome. Honestly, I wish that there was 10, 20, 30. I know this is greedy. I'm not on the dev team. It's a lot of work. But if there was like 20 or 30 of these, oh, man, the builds you could do. My personal favorite one was the extra damage on punching and kicking because I could just shoot a guy's leg off and then absolutely MMA style hitmon lead this guy, resulting in me saving ammunition. And I want to talk about the enemies here. I honest to God think they're kind of a mix between aliens and zombies, if that's even a possible thing. Most of these play exactly as you would expect, with the weaker enemies going to medium enemies, going to medium strong enemies, to the big enemies, to the boss enemies. Little enemies that explode in you that almost play exactly and look exactly the same as those baby enemies from Dead Space 2. And of course you have one of my favorite enemies. I don't know their name. I call them wall enemies. If they see you, they get you. They will strangle you. But 99% of these enemies are just placed here as a puzzle mechanic. Because every scenario you're in where these rooms are filled with these wall enemies, there is a clever angle you can find via the environment that you can use to take out these guys. They only take 1 shot. And this is not the only way that enemies are used as a puzzle environmental mechanic. You see, there are underground enemies too. And this was actually implemented so well, I knew this instinctually. At a certain part of the game, you'll have free run to go and explore this sandy area, and there was like a lump in the ground. Multiple even, and I could almost hear a guy under there, so I instinctually just avoided it. So you tiptoe your way around this environment, trying to scrape together as many resources as you can without activating some sort of domino effect that'll activate.
Can I even make that? I don't think that's worth it.
Let's talk setting, because I loved it here. Absolutely loved it. 1980s Poland. In my opinion, this is what sets this game apart from all other games I've played, of survival horror to even ones that's being named similar to. This setting absolutely puts Cronos The New Dawn in its own category. Fantastic looking outdoor sections, incredibly filled rooms with items and knickknacks and everything that makes the level stay alive. Polish posters everywhere. You really feel that 1980s Poland here. And that's important because environmental storytelling is what this game is really good at. And in fact, it's where it tells its story the majority of the time. Throughout these levels, tons and tons and tons of notes are left behind. And guess what? This is a good sign, you know, when the notes are good. I read every single one of them that I found start to finish. Messages written in blood on the walls, posters, and audio logs. Thank you, God. I've said this since like day 1 on my channel. I love audio logs, especially when you can play them and walk away and still hear them. You can do that in this game.
Perceptual disturbances. They are vivid, substantial, and located in external
I'm experiencing substantial fucking problems. They are substantial.
The lighting, the environmental sound effects. Listen, these guys, Bloober team, killed it on presentation here. They killed it. Everything about this game is awesome.
So now I won't attack you if you don't attack me. That's the rules here. And you got up first.
Overall impact. Something I haven't talked about that's pretty big for Cronos The New Dawn. The story.
The story.
Well, how is it?
And from what I see online, this is the major splitting point. You either love it or you don't like the twist at the end. And I'll tell you here, I won't spoil anything. Majorly. I have to talk about this though. I'm gonna call this a minor spoiler. I won't say anything that happened specifically or characters that were involved. So I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but here's how I explain why I didn't like the ending to Cronos The New Dawn at all. So the whole story is kind of like a question mark. You're not really sure what happened to the human race. You are a time-jumping traveler, okay? It's already a little confusing, but mainly put, something happened to the human race, and you're kind of really trying to figure this out through all the notes and environmental storytelling. And in the steel mill, where I think the virus really broke out here, there was an amazing story moment where you went back in time, where after you finish running through the steel mill, killing all the enemies, you see what happened, how the virus basically overtook all the workers here and it went to shit. You go back in time to when the virus first broke out and you see exactly how these zombie alien things are attacking everyone, and it's so intriguing.
What the fuck? So this is when it started. Huh, this is super interesting.
Right? Okay, now imagine this. And this is exactly how I would describe the ending. Let's say you're watching like the coolest action anime ever and you're on the second to last episode. Wow, that was an amazing episode. What does the finale have to say? Imagine you watching that anime and all of a sudden the last episode completely focuses on a romance subplot. That's all I'm gonna say. It to me genre swapped in the end. Like honestly, I didn't like the direction this game went in the ending. I am honestly kind of mad, and I'm not even like a romance hater. Some of my favorite animes are romance, and I'm not even against having romance in other genres. It was just such a sharp turn in my opinion that completely disregarded everything that I was excited for. I kind of feel like this is exactly what Expedition 33 went through, even though I know I'm on the unpopular side of that. My closing take on Cronos The New Dawn is this. It is true that the final 1 hour of this game, in my opinion, absolutely is not good, in my opinion. Did not enjoy it. I think the worst boss fight in this game is at the end and the story really drops off. But it's not enough to taint or spoil the other 11 to 14 hours I put into this game. And in those first 11 to 14 hours, genuinely to me, this game is a 9 out of 10 solid the whole way through. Gameplay, presentation, everything else. The only reason why it doesn't reach higher, in my opinion, is because there's nothing truly iconic that makes me go, wow, slap my hands on my desk and say, goddamn, that is a 10 out of 10. I would still definitely recommend picking this game up if you are interested, but for a total score to bring this review to an end is 8.6 out of 10. So that's it. Another horror game down, and I have another one in the chamber. Tormented Souls 2 is here. I'm just ready to play it. I am so excited for Tormented Souls 2. So stay tuned for that next time. For now, I'm your host, Beneath the Mask, and LPO's Review. Peace out.
Yeah, I was camping with that. That's what I got it for. Whew. That's why I like that gun.
I know you're here to find out the Easter egg soundtrack that I put in at the end of every video, but did you know that I have a Buy Me a Coffee page? A page where you can donate to your favorite YouTube creator. Half of the money that's donated to that page is personally donated back to Child's Play Charity, a charity that's dedicated to supplying games and technology to children in hospitals around the world. So that's that. Did you guess the soundtrack?